everybody. Welcome back to On a Roll. I am Zach.
I'm Noah.
I'm Rachel.
Going really far.
I'm Nick.
I did. And we're back. We had a little bit of a break, but there's a lot to talk about. First thing on the docket is TIFF 2017. Me and Noah did not go to TIFF, but these two did. So I figured we'd chat a little about it, compare experiences. Nick, you've been there twice now. You have a foot in both camps here. But what was your highlight from TIFF this year? Movie or
highlight of TIFF this year. Ooh, it's a tough one.
Boy, howdy.
Not Rachel.
I was there.
She just made fun of us the whole time. No, I think just like seeing a lot more of the movies this time. I saw 17 as opposed to like 2 last year. So that was just like the big difference. Was just like, and I tried to stay away from like the bigger ones that premiered. So I like saw like a bunch of like weird movies that I probably would have never seen. So just like learning from last year and trying to find different things to see.
And did you still go to the light box? Or the building across from the light box?
No, we got to skip all that.
Oh, no, but to get the tickets.
Oh, yeah, to get tickets, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. What about you, Rachel? It was your first time there, so.
Yeah, it was my first time, so just like the overall experience of it was like a highlight because it was just seeing all of it and the atmosphere of it is just awesome. But probably, I guess like my favorite thing was probably 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. That film was just awesome. It got a standing ovation, which was the only film that I saw that got a standing ovation. And it was just awesome hearing, they did a Q&A after and hearing them talk about it, and it's just so well done.
I don't think I heard anything about that. What's that movie? What's it about?
It's made by the same guy who directed In Bruges, if you've seen that with Colin Farrell.
I don't know.
It's a rough movie. You should watch it. As soon as I didn't realize it was directed by him when we got tickets and went in to see it until he came on stage and they talked about how he did In Bruges, and I was like, oh, we are in for a treat. And it's kind of hard to describe what even happens. It's a movie about grief. Like the lady's daughter was murdered in their town, and nothing's really being done about it to solve it. So she puts up these 3 billboards, roasting the town sheriff or whatever. Yeah. And it just kind of spirals out of control. But it's really, really well done.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole you were talking about just the experience overall, and just from what I was thinking, I've been to Toronto a bunch of times, but it's never Toronto as a city, or at least the downtown area where TIFF takes place, just never feels like it does when TIFF is there, because everything is shut down. All of downtown Toronto essentially is sectioned off, and people just walk in the middle of the streets. Cars are not allowed to drive through there, and it feels really huge, especially particularly with all the film-centric things that are going on there. It's, I don't know, it has a really unique vibe to it.
You okay, Noah? Okay, just checking. But
I like Toronto.
Yeah, what was your favorite part of TIFF last year?
I like just kind of going around the city and looking for it was the more mundane parts of it. Aside from just watching movies, I liked being able to just go around the city and being finding the certain theaters, because we always got turned around, and those were some of the more memorable parts where it's just we'd be following a GPS that was telling us to go to the wrong place, and it's well, we just walked 20 minutes out of our way to go to the wrong place. Let's go back around through all the homeless people and construction and stuff like that, which I thought was a lot of fun. But movie-wise, I liked going to the random movies we would go to. The shortcuts, I think, were really great. Did you guys go to any of those?
mm-mm.
Oh, you didn't get to. Oh.
They're really great. If you go again, I'd recommend at least going to one of them, because it's just it's a grab bag of I think it's 10 to 15 minute shorts, if that.
Oh, one of them was a good 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, that was a special featured one, but it's got a bunch of just random movies put together that are really great. I love the short form sort of storytelling thing, and you just don't know what you're gonna get. And then on top of that, just walking into some of the movies when it's well, you missed out on your chance to go see this one. Let's go see this other one, because we saw The Bleeder, which was pretty interesting, which is the real story of how Rocky, the real life Rocky that Rocky's based on.
With Liev Schreiber.
Yeah. And
Sabretooth himself.
what was it? Like a movie called The Apprentice, which is about a guy who's like an understudy of like a hangman who kills people, who like is like an executioner.
And he hung the executioner that he's under, like hung his father.
Yeah, who was like a serial killer or something like that. And
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure he ends up hanging.
it's like a
Somewhat?
super cliffhanger. It's
Yeah.
like move ending, but
No pun intended.
stuff like that. Yeah, but stuff like that was a lot of fun. Just like the spur of the moment parts of that trip were great.
Yeah, I think that's what I want to do because I hope to go next year, and I think I just kind of want to like, because this year I saw like more like bigger things. I didn't do like any red carpety kind of stuff because I'm not interested in that. But I think next year I just kind of want to like not really have a plan and just like go see random stuff with like no knowledge of it and just walk in.
Yeah, I feel like that was the
is.
consensus of most people, especially after your first year there. Yeah, you always realize that you shouldn't have tried to get into bigger ones.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think everybody on our trip last year tried to get into bigger movies.
Yeah, I
They had like
definitely didn't regret,
Snowden and like
any of them.
Magnificent Seven and stuff like that.
Yeah, I didn't
Well, I guess the
rush-
difference is they actually made it into the movies, and
Yeah,
we did not. But
Yeah, I didn't
But-
rush any like big movies. I only went to bigger ones if I got tickets that morning. So
Yeah, the ticket thing really helped out this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
There
guess
was
I
like
didn't go
no
last
waiting
year,
in
but-
line this year. So sorry, guys.
well, next
Go
year.
next year.
I saw
Yeah.
the Disaster Artist.
Yeah, we did.
That's the
great.
one I'm the most upset. That or like Shape of Water.
Or
I
Mom
wanted
and
to see
Dad.
both of those.
Didn't see Shape of Water.
Oh, I wanted to see.
Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad is the greatest movie I've ever seen at TIFF. It's a movie about with
Nicolas
Nicolas
Cage.
Cage,
Oh,
where
Oh,
like
it's wild.
their kids for some reason, or the parents all of a sudden just like snap, and like they want to kill their kids, but they only want to kill their specific kids. And Nicolas Cage just
Their
plays the
specific
Wait,
mom.
as
kids?
opposed to
All
someone
kids?
else's?
Yeah, it's like it would be like if your parents only wanted to kill you and no one else.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
like
that's
it's
cool.
it's
It's
nutty.
crazy.
There's a prime Nicolas Cage freak out movie.
There is.
He destroys a pool table with a sledgehammer while singing the Hokey Pokey song. And it is one of the greatest 5 minutes you'll ever see in a film.
Oh my
5
god.
minutes.
It was
Oh, it's
crazy.
5 full-length minutes.
Yeah, I think the
Even-
director is one of the two who do like the Crank movies and like the second Ghost Rider, which are
Yeah, he
also
did, like, Ghost Rider
films
2 or
made by
3 or
crazy
something.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. And even the short that played before the
I
movie.
didn't see the short because
Oh,
we
you
were waiting
didn't?
outside. No.
Oh, there's a
Wow.
short that played before it, made by the same guy, and I guess he's working on a feature-length film of it, which I don't know how that's gonna work, but it's basically this like Red Lobster commercial from like back in the day about like $10.99 for 30 shrimp or something like that.
That's a deal.
And it's just like the commercial, like shot for shot, but then like it just keeps looping, and the woman in it like realizes that it like things are a little off each time they redo it, and then it just like spirals out of control, and everyone's like murdering each other, and it's wild. It was so crazy.
I guess what happens just when you work at Red Lobster for too long. That's why they're always so short on staff.
That's why I don't go to Red Lobster anymore.
That's
Waiter, there's
the-
a dead guy in my lobster. Oh, that's just Bill.
Yeah, we just fed them to the lobsters to make them bigger. It's true.
It's a good business plan.
Yeah.
You know lobsters can't die?
Yeah, they're basically immortal.
What?
Yeah, like the like
mean, they can
their
die, but, like-
aging process, like I forgot what it was. Something about like they just don't
They
succumb to
basically
like
live forever
aging.
until something like
kills them. Yeah, like they can be killed, but like they don't
naturally.
they
die.
don't like their aging process doesn't like kill them or whatever. However, like the way to explain how that works for
So what you're
everything
saying
else.
is the lobster is actually the right animal to be tapping
Yeah, I
for-
thought that's exactly why
eternal
they
life.
did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy had a movie there. The guy who did Lobster.
Yeah, I heard it
Killing
was
of
a
a
crazy
Sacred
movie.
Deer.
With Colin Farrell
Oh.
and Naomi,
I
or
want to
Nicole
see
Kidman.
likes Colin Farrell.
that.
Yeah, I heard that
Wanna
one
see
Do you
that.
was.
really?
Yeah.
I heard that one was crazy.
I just love the names. Like, I'm glad we've gotten back to the point where we just name, like, we have these ridiculous names. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous.
What else would you say is a ridiculous name for a movie?
That's the thing. We don't have, like, ones that, like, we have, like, they have to be, like, 3 words or less now. Like,
3
for
billboards
marketing.
outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Yeah, like, that's a good one. Or, Killing of a Sacred Deer. Like, all right. I mean, it's descriptive, but
I
The
have
Men
a-
Who
I
Stare
have
at
a
Ghosts is a
TIFF
pretty good
story.
title.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm a fan of that one. What one?
I have a story that I just thought of. So at TIFF this year there was a movie called Breathe with what's his face from
The
The
Mentalist?
Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh no, Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield. Breathe was a big like gala film that was showing there, and then there was a movie called Breath, which is made by the guy who plays the Mentalist, Simon Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a
And-
movie called Beast.
Oh yeah, which was also
Beast
good.
breath.
I saw Beast and Breath, but I did not see Breathe. But anyway, we got tickets. Kami and I got tickets for Breath, and we were waiting in line, and the line was so long, and we were like, I didn't think this amount of people would want to see this film, but okay. And like people are like pulling out their tickets as we're like about to go in. They're like, this says Breath, and they were like, is this not the Andrew Garfield film? And we were like, no, this is like an Australian like world premiere of some movie. And they were like, are you kidding? So many people like thought they were going to see a different like the Breathe film, and they did not. I didn't see anyone like
Wow.
walk out of the
That's
theater because it was a good film.
Well, if you're at that point, you
It
might as well.
took a
yeah.
weird turn though. Like we were all just sitting there like, what is happening? Because like I thought it was just gonna be like a cute little coming of age like surfing movie, but then like the one girl started like fucking the 15-year-old boy, or he's not even 15. I think he was like 13 or 14.
Oh my god.
Oh, it did take.
Yeah, and then she got pregnant, and then the guy was like, I'm having a baby, and the 13-year-old boy was like, yeah, congrats. Like, wow. And it was just very
How-
very
what ha-
weird.
Okay.
What are they trying to say with that movie?
I don't know. It's based off of a book, I guess.
Oh, that makes more sense.
But it was just crazy. But the cinematography was amazing. There's this one shot of him like floating in the ocean, and it's like a drone shot or something, like super far away, and all the waves are around him. It's gorgeous.
So it's breathe or breath?
Breath.
Not Beast.
Not Beast.
Beast was
What's
really
Beast
good.
Basically, like
It's like a
this girl from like this
psychological
middle
thriller.
class family like falls in love with this dude who's in like he's not in poverty, but he's like an lower income level. And then there's like a serial killer that's going around on their island, and everybody thinks it's her boyfriend. So she's like not sure if he is a serial killer or if people are just like using their ulterior motives to like break him apart as like
Yeah.
lies.
And it just spirals from there.
Not as much as Breath, but
I'm sensing
It
a
was
theme
really
of a
good,
lot
though.
of the movies that TIFF
Yeah.
They
do.
take
just-
turns.
They take drastic turns and then
That's what I've heard
spiral
about
out.
Mother too.
the
Not-
disaster artist
didn't
takes
see
a
Mother.
turn.
Yeah,
I think
it
they're
does.
gonna make a good movie.
They
And
don't.
They don't.
Have you guys read the book, The Disaster Artist?
No.
They're selling it at TIFF, but it was like $800. So
Seriously? That's cool.
yeah.
T-shirts were only 400, so
Seriously?
yeah.
What?
Could take out a loan.
Tell me
and
why
get
So's
anything.
got to
Why?
make his
Yeah.
money somehow. Did any of you guys shake his hand or high five
No,
him?
dude,
or
I took
anything?
a plethora of pictures of James Franco. It was like from like me to Rachel, is how close I was to James Franco.
Wait for
Did you make
For the
contact to him?
because he's in the new HBO show The Deuce about
Yeah.
like the porn industry. So like me
Shocker, yeah.
and Kirk had like tickets to go see the show, and I was just like killing time at the Lightbox, just like walking around. I saw a red carpet, and I was like, you know, James Franco is probably gonna be here. So I just like went up and just like stood for like 15 minutes, and then he just came walking in. I was like, oh, took a picture. I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna go watch the
I'm
show.
satisfied now.
achieved.
Nick's omniscient.
Well, the girl next to me, well, not really the girl, the older lady next to me.
Okay, that was.
She like
there was quotation marks around girl, and that was.
she like came up to me. She's like, "Oh, why is everyone standing around over here?" And I was just like, I don't know. You know, hopefully like she would go away. But then like the other girl like in front of me was like, "Oh, James Franco is coming in here probably." And she goes, "Who's James Franco?" And then she looks him up on his phone. And she goes, "Oh, I know who James Franco is." So she stands next to me for like the entire time I'm waiting. And like literally every person who walked in, she was like, "Is that James Franco?" Like, no, that's a 6'7" bald dude who's clearly a security guard. That's not James Franco. I was like, "Why are you standing here?"
When he showed up, and she just like, oh.
She
and then
screamed,
walked
"You're
away.
such a beautiful human being." I was like, "Well, James Franco's not coming over here to shake my hand or autograph anything now."
Ugh.
That's pretty
Should have
wonderful.
pretended like she was your dying mother and then she had to get something signed from James Franco.
I didn't have anything for him to sign. I was just like, I'm just here to take
Yourself.
the picture. Myself?
Yeah,
My
yeah.
skin is too important to be signed by James Franco.
For it to be soiled by his signature.
I think the celebrity that basically everyone in our group saw over the course of the trip was Andy Serkis. Multiple
Oh,
people
that's cool.
saw him in different bars. You saw him like walking down
Yeah,
the
we were just
street.
standing in line outside of the Scotiabank
think
Theater.
so many
and
people
he just
saw
like walked
him.
by, no security. He just walked by, like looked, I was like, is that Andy Serkis? I was like looking, I was
Yeah.
like, that's Andy Serkis.
Yeah, Cammy and I were walking back
I
to
don't
the
think he needs
hostel, and we
security.
just like walked by a bar and like happened to like peek in, and then we just like stopped and like walked backwards, and we're like,
Was he up on the
There's Andy
bar
Serkis.
going like,
Yeah.
so
I
he
feel
was
like
sitting at a table, like he was in
just-
a meeting or something.
Quietly eating poutine. Only.
swinging from lights and everything like that? I imagine he's just become
A caricature.
half ape, yeah.
He's half ape and half golem.
Yes.
We did try the food trucks this year, which were really good.
The professors paid for our food. It was so sweet.
Wait,
When?
What? Yeah.
At the
wait.
food
At the
trucks.
food
Oh,
trucks.
okay.
Yeah, there was like a group of us with like Donahue and Edwards, and they were like, "We're gonna pay for your meals," and we were like, "Ah." It was like not. It was an expensive food truck too. I
Was
think
that,
our
like, the
food was like
first-
$12.
The first day where you had your groups that you went around with?
Our groups.
Yeah, we weren't even with our groups at that
Yeah.
point, but it was that day.
Like our groups broke up into smaller groups with the people from TIFF last year heading the groups.
Oh.
but
Oh.
It
okay.
just kind of like fell apart and everyone just went to go see a movie.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, that's fair. That is what you're there to do, after all. Oh, so okay. The the specialization part of it, or the focus. Can you
Mhm.
explain that again? Because I don't 100% understand what's happening there.
I can neither confirm or deny.
Yeah, you can't.
So for at least for the first year people, so like TIFF is obviously divided into however many programs. So you had to see you had to see 7 movies at least, and you had to see movies from 5 different programs, and then you had to pick one of those programs to be your focus program, where you saw 3 films from it. So my plan was to do Discovery. Didn't work out. So then I was going to do Contemporary World Cinema. Didn't work out. So then I ended up just doing Special Presentation. Because they took, at first they weren't including Gala and Special Presentation as programs, because like they wanted us to explore other movies besides like the bigger ones. But then they ended up combining Gala and Special Presentation as like one program that you could do. So I just had to end up doing that. But
Was that? Did you feel like limited by that system at all?
I didn't feel limited. It just kind of stressed me out, because I was like, at the beginning of the day when we go to get tickets, I'd be like, oh, I like have to like pick out something from this, and like, yeah, it was a little annoying. I don't know. I think there should just be like, you have to see. I understand like being like you have to see a certain amount of movies total, but I think you could see them from whatever. Maybe be like, you can't see like all Special Presentation films or something like.
Because that's more in line with what we had last year, where we just had to see 6, I think.
I don't even
it
think
was
we had a
6
count
movies.
last year. I think it was just you have to go to the 3 master classes and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, you had to like write. Yeah, you had to like write
Yeah.
about everything you did, and you had to see like a certain amount of movies.
Oh yeah,
but,
no
like,
Tumblr post this year.
I was about to say, yeah. Did you
They
guys
didn't
keep
do that?
A journal or
No,
anything?
we had to
this
do
year?
a focus program paper, just like 500 words, easy, and then we had to do like an industry journal, based like just with talking about all the industry things we went to. So we had to go to 4 industry events at least, and then we had to do like 1 minute like film reviews like on the 4 programs that besides our focus program.
You had to do film review? Wait.
Yeah, they
just
wanted
in a
like
journal,
videos
or-
of us being like, I saw this and it was cool. I did those yesterday right before I emailed Cordell.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. They're also
Fantastic.
changing how they do check-in like next year, because this year check-in just
Oh, yeah.
fell apart.
You know how we like last year it was like mandatory you had to meet at the coffee?
Yeah, that
This year it was
sucked.
just like
Second.
we took pictures of ourselves just like outside.
We'd be like,
and
hey,
Then you
we're
were
at the
alive.
light box,
Yeah.
not dead. Bye.
Which honestly
I mean,
makes sense. Like, I mean, that's perfectly
Or why
fine.
not just text? Like, why not just like send a text in
Like that's literally
Like-
what it was.
out like hello?
Yeah.
It was just the group
So I
meeting.
think next year they were saying like the first day like you have to check in or something, and then the master classes will be mandatory, and that's going to be like your check-in for the festival. Besides, I think they'll continue doing like the digital check-in. Like,
Wait, were the master classes not mandatory this year?
you just had
Well,
to go
for
to
you
4
guys it
industry
wasn't.
events.
Oh.
We didn't have to go to master
Did you go?
classes.
Did you go to anything?
I went to one, yeah.
Why
Did
why
you
would
go
they
to
have
any
master
day?
classes at all?
No.
Who's
So,
gonna
like,
show
I
up?
wouldn't either.
The first master class was this director, and her movie was screening like the night before. So we all went to go see her movie, and I was like, oh my god, this movie's terrible. I'm not talking to this director.
She was
No, I didn't
cool
go.
though.
What movie?
I thought it was a she.
It's called Porcupine Lake. I said she was cool.
Oh, I thought you said he was cool.
No, she was cool.
It was not a good movie.
It
Does
was
it
not
sound
that good of a
familiar?
movie, but it was interesting to hear her
What was it
talk. I
about?
appreciated it more when she talked about it. It was like these two like tween girls like kissing, and like I don't know if they were together or lesbians or what it was, but they were just like exploring. It was like kind of
Exploring each other.
Yeah. Like she
Okay.
was like, I'm gonna teach you how to French kiss, and she was like, stick out your tongue and open your mouth, and they just went like, like it was really weird. Like it was like not
wait.
like.
No. No.
Wait a minute.
It's basically like, you know, like the cardboard cutout movies where it's like, oh, the kid has no friends, and she has like an estranged like relationship with her parents,
Okay.
and her dad's an alcoholic, and she meets like a friend, and the friend's kind of weird too. That's basically just the movie.
Yeah.
Life is Strange.
Yeah,
Uh,
their
That's a
dad
little weird.
loves to drink alcohol in milkshakes.
The girl
But that
rolled out
doesn't
of a
make sense
car.
because then the alcohol like curdles the milk in
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
milkshake.
thinking.
So
But yeah, the one girl like dives out of the car at the end.
she
Not
tucks
the
and
very
rolls.
end, but yeah.
and dies.
Out of
No,
the
she doesn't
dad's
die.
car?
Just a moving
Yeah,
car.
out of the,
Or
the
mom's
parents'
car.
car. Yeah,
The mom
mom's
tries to,
car.
like, leave.
She's
To-
like running away.
To seemingly go
It's
back to.
a roller coaster.
It sounds like
But not a very
it.
fun
High
one.
stakes. Yeah.
Sean fell asleep and
And
started
was
snoring.
It's so,
So
loud.
that tells you where the.
And I think the director was like 2 rows in front of us.
Oh,
No,
that's
it was just
Oh,
press
one
and
row in
industry.
front of
that's
us.
not
It
cool.
was just press and industry.
She was there. She was there.
Did you end up being like, wow, that sucked?
No, I was courteous. I said that movie is something.
Yeah. I didn't really like it,
It's
but hearing her
something
talk about it
interesting.
like helped me appreciate it more. But yeah.
I did go to
would
a-
not watch again.
Yeah.
I did go to a movie where the director got booed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a really small theater too. It was like in the Lighthouse box or the Lightbox House.
TIFF Lightbox?
And there was
You walk all these
There's
stairs
some
and there's a theater up
combination
top
of
that
light
just
box
spins.
and a house.
I mean, there was probably maybe like 40 seats in this little tiny like screening, and the director was there, and he came up before the movie showed and talked about it, and then went and sat down, and the movie ended, and literally like a dude 2 rows behind him stood up and went, "Boo," and walked out. And I was like, wow. Like, no, the movie wasn't that great, but that is rude.
Oh, that's
You know,
nice.
I think actually when we went to go see that Apprentice movie, that it was the premiere of that movie, because
The director was
director
there.
walked out, yeah, and then like a quarter of the way into the movie, there was definitely someone that was asleep in that theater. I know because I was asleep 3/4 of the way through the movie.
Oh,
I woke
that's
up
right.
right for the end, yeah, but I remember there was someone asleep in that movie, and they were definitely snoring, and I was like, the director's 100%
Probably just in the
behind
corner.
us somewhere, listening to someone snore in their movie.
Yeah, it's too bad for some of those, especially when you got up and just had to leave and stuff like that. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
no one wants to talk about my movie.
Like, I mean, the professor said, like, falling asleep or, like, having to leave if they're doing a Q&A or something, like, they understand a little bit. Like, I don't know about falling asleep as much,
Yeah.
but, like, I had to leave for the Q&A of Breath because I had another movie.
Or is it Breathe? Or is it Beast?
It's Breath. I had to think about it. Did you see me pause? Because I did.
I would cry if someone did that. I don't know
Fell
why.
asleep in your movie?
Or booed.
Oh, yeah.
Coming out of the stage.
Actually, I feel like I would probably just get irritated and call them out. Be like, you know what? Boo,
Boo
you!
Yeah. You're a terrible audience member.
Where's your
suck,
popcorn and candy, huh, man? No?
Nerd.
Get out.
Boom, roasted.
Boom. Yeah.
Did you guys meet any colorful characters this time around?
The Spider-Man there.
I
He
saw
was-
Spider-Man. I told Cammy that we must avoid him, even though I really wanted to go say hi.
He probably would have been nicer to you, I have a feeling.
Yeah, you
The
weren't
Nick.
filming him, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Did we tell that story? I don't actually know if we told that story.
I think we
last
did.
year.
I don't even know the full Spider-Man story. I just know that I was told not to talk to the Spider-Mans if I found one.
Oh, well, we were
He's very
shooting
edgy
B-roll
Peter
for like the
Video.
TIFF video, and I was like, oh, what better B-roll is there than, oh, hey, look, there's Canadian Spider-Man in Toronto.
Yeah, he was like.
Yeah, and he was
Big
real
part,
pissed
yeah.
that I started filming him.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like, would you like if someone took pictures of you? It's like, oh my
I
god.
don't know. I feel like my nose would just take up the whole frame.
He literally walked up and tried to take Nick's phone.
Yeah, he tried like knocking it out of
Oh,
my hand.
wow.
He's scary. Canadian
I saw
Spider-Man,
Drake.
not nice.
Oh yeah, there was a Vince Carter documentary, and like Drake showed up.
LeBron
Le-
James.
Cirque du Soleil,
LeBron
Who's
James.
It was big.
CB?
CP3?
CB.
C3PO?
CB. Is
I
a
think you mean
basketball player?
CP3. Chris
No.
Paul, the
No.
third?
No.
No?
No.
Kobe
Someone
Bryant?
told me CB. No.
CB.
KB's called Kobe Bryant.
CB. Who's CB?
I can't think. Chris Bosh? Is that his name?
No, Chris Bosh is the Raptor. 'Cause he looks like a velociraptor.
I noticed because you showed me
Is he a
pictures.
basketball player?
CB? I've never heard that nickname.
Someone
What
said
is it?
CB. I'm pretty sure it's Chris Bosh.
I don't think Chris Bosh would be there.
Is he a basketball player though?
Yeah, but he can't fly on airplanes because he has like a blood clot disorder.
What?
I don't
Yeah,
know,
because
someone
he's
said it
like,
was
because he's
CB.
like so tall. A lot
Yeah,
of
it
times,
was a
like,
super tall guy.
well, all
That's every
NBA
basketball
players.
No, there were
player in
shorter ones.
existence.
No, there was a super tall one that I didn't like know who it was. So I sent a picture to my friends and I was like, "Who dis?" And they were like, "I think that's CB." So
Can
I
I
had to
see the
Google who
picture?
CB
Who's
was.
CB?
I don't think I have the picture anymore. I don't have
No, I
Can I
space on my
see
Googled, I
phone.
the
Googled
picture?
CB and that did not help me.
What
It
did
was-
you get?
It was Chubb Ltd. Which is a company. Looks like their stocks are doing pretty
Did he
okay.
look like a velociraptor from Jurassic Park?
I don't know. He was far away.
If he did, that's Chris Bosh.
Did he have feathers like flaring out?
Have you ever played any of the NBA games and been to Miami Heat when they had Chris Bosh?
No.
His animation of
Yeah.
him running is literally this. I seriously think that they just made him a
He's
velociraptor.
definitely right, though. He's not making this up.
Never have played an NBA video.
They're fun.
When he
'Cause
tries to dunk, he just whips his tail out. And just,
It's funny because he used to play for the Raptors, so it's like.
he just carried over.
Mixed martial arts record from Sherdog.
What?
Could be him.
Oh, what's up, dog?
CB Dalloway.
No.
Is that? No?
Have you heard of Up Dog?
What is up, dog?
Not much about you.
I don't know, but that was the only, I guess, red carpet I did. Because we were just walking back to our hostel and the street was all closed off, so we couldn't, like, walk through to go to our hostel. So we just stood there.
Oh, you could.
Until-
You could just be
You just
arrested,
get
like the one lady I
arrested.
saw.
Oh, yeah, we saw a lady get carried away.
Wait,
Like,
from
they
where?
carried her away.
Well, I mean, they, like,
they
escorted
arrested
her
her.
off of the red carpet. Out. But
Yikes.
I don't know if she was in trouble.
Russian?
She was older, so I was like, I thought maybe
Oh,
she
no.
fainted.
Bam, you're not supposed to stand on the red carpet.
I can handle it.
Wait, what? Did that happen last year?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
last year, like you know how they have, like they make sure you're in a rush line if you have rush tickets. Well, this old Russian lady was just like standing there, and this one like person who actually like worked at TIFF was like, oh, hey, you know this is the rush line, right? She didn't say anything. She's like, ma'am, excuse me, you know this is the rush line. She goes, I can handle it.
Yeah, because someone else was like, oh, she's talking to you. I can handle it. I don't need help. I can handle it. And then as soon as they walked away, I think didn't she ask another question?
I think
like,
she realized
where
that it
this
wasn't
is-
the rush line.
Like,
Yeah,
this
he
isn't the line
yeah.
she's supposed to be in, and then walked. She definitely didn't go into the movie with us. She just walked away.
They took away that theater too.
Oh,
What
yeah,
theater?
the one that was super far away. You know,
Yeah.
it was
yeah.
The one that's
Monster
for Midnight
Call-
Madness.
it was the Monster
Ryerson?
Call.
No, not the right. It's the
Monster
one that
Call.
was even farther than the
Yeah,
Ryerson.
Zach wasn't there, remember?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was an
Yeah,
incident.
trapped.
There's
with a
But
train.
that's not surprising. That one was super far away, and it
Yeah.
was just a
like when you have to
small-
take the subway and then like a bus.
Yeah.
Your
And
movie
when
theater's a little
the
too far
subway
away.
actively tries to separate you and make it so you can't make it to your movies. That's a problem.
What's more rude,
I'd do it
Canadian
if I didn't get a
Canadian
sweet red
subways
from
or
the show.
Canadians? Because
Or
there were a
Canadian
lot of
Spider-Man?
there was a lot of rude Canadians there.
I went to a bulk barn and it changed my life.
A what?
A bulk barn. It's like just this store that they have in Canada where you can get things in bulk and they just have like barrels of candy and you just can take it. Well, I mean, you have to pay for it, but I got so much candy there.
Did you
And
buy
it
a
was
barrel of candy?
awesome. I didn't buy a barrel.
Yeah,
I
but,
bought like 2 bags full, one of just peach rings and one of like sour watermelon, sour grapefruit, and sour strawberry things.
Sour grapefruit? So grapefruit?
Rachel's
Just
like, I got a
candy.
piano full of Skittles at this store.
I want a desk of cake.
But it was awesome.
The desk
I've
made a
been going
cake.
to
or
Toronto
is
all
it-
my life and I've never heard of Bulk Barn before.
Go.
A
Was it
filing
just
cabinet full
life-changing.
of
It was just a
Mike and
random
Ike's.
store somewhere?
Sorted
Yeah,
by
Cammy
color.
told me about it, and we were walking to
This
the
is
Ryerson.
only yellows. No
and
one
so
will
we
ever
stopped
eat
at a
them.
bulk barn and got candy. It was great.
I feel bad because
I have to write that
Yeah,
down.
you have to
Bulk
show us
Barn.
next year, yeah.
you know the ramen place that everybody ate at last year that loved it?
I
Raymond.
wanna go.
Sorry.
They went back this year and they like didn't invite anybody. Like just all of a sudden out of the blue, they're like,
Who's
hey,
they?
we're giving
Call them out right now.
Sean,
Foe.
Sean and Lydia, and probably Sarah, but I don't know. So
Sarah.
maybe not Sarah.
You
This
scumbag.
fingers for you guys.
I don't think we went with. Wait, when did they go to
I
ramen?
didn't go
I don't remember
ramen.
them going to ramen.
Do you remember that clip? I remember it's one of the B-rolls, but it's like
Oh,
Melissa and
yeah,
Lydia
okay.
going like this. That's the only reason I know is because
Yeah.
we went through the footage of all of it, making the video.
Yeah, I was supposed to be taken to a ramen place and a burrito place, and I was taken to neither.
Oh, we did go to the burrito place. We went after the disaster artist.
Oh,
And we went to ramen.
we did. Yeah,
we
we
didn't
went
go
to
after the
ramen, but
disaster.
It was your
Artist.
cousin, right?
I think you went to go see
Oh,
it.
I went to
Ramen.
a industry panel
Yeah.
thing, and it sucked, and I was pissed.
Should have came to burritos.
He was a terrible speaker.
I went to an industry panel after I got separated on the train. It was about distribution and a and it actually sounded like kind of interesting because it was like how producers pick which movies that they want to take to
Yeah.
distribute. It was not interesting
Mm,
at
yeah.
all. And they had no audience participation,
disappointing.
and it was just a Q&A panel. So they were like, all right, who's got questions?
No one.
No one.
I actually
No one
went
answered.
to-
All right, I'm going to go get a burrito. See you guys later.
Amazing.
We didn't have to like go to those because we were returners, but I went with like Carlton and Kirk and Patrick to one, and it was like Simon Baker talking about his movie
Oh, it was like the case study, yeah.
Breath.
Breath. Cammy and I
Breath.
were going to go to that, and we couldn't.
Yeah,
Get in.
and it was really cool because there's only like 25 of us in like a room with Simon Baker, and he was talking about like the relationship between him and his cinematographers, even though it was mostly just Simon Baker talking about how he shot his film, and the cinematographers being like, yeah, cameras, we used them.
Yeah, we wanted to go to that, and got there a little late, and then they were like full, so they didn't let us in. Disappointing.
We take the camera. And we
Rachel and
put things
Cammy
in
were,
front of camera.
Rachel and Cammy were too busy shocking beers outside of the hostel.
No. No.
Just going,
We did
damn.
get
Yeah,
fish
little.
bowls the one night, but
Did anyone go to the? Yeah, it was the same hostel, right?
Yep.
Did anyone go to the bar
Yep.
downstairs? Yeah.
I just went to fill my water bottle in the mornings. That was it.
At the bar?
Yeah, 'cause
Did
they
you just hand
said
it to him and say, "Can I?"
they said
can
if
I
you
fill
want
this?"
free water bottle fill-ups, go down to the bar. So that's what we did.
You want to know something really funny about the hostel? So we had like, instead of having one room just of guys, we had 2 small rooms of guys this year. So it was like me, Kirk, Sean, and Drew. So we all had like a room together. So our toilet wouldn't flush. So we asked them to fix it. So they fixed it. So our toilet just constantly ran the whole time we were at TIFF.
Like it was just constantly flushing.
Like, you
Or-
know, like
It's just
the
like-
water in the
Little
tank just
tank.
constantly kept running.
Huh.
We also didn't have hot water for like a day.
Yeah, that was the worst shower I've ever taken.
I just skipped. I was like, I'm just not gonna shower.
I
Not
like
worth it.
sprinted in and out of the
Nice,
shower.
Rachel.
It was so cold.
So,
We
so
didn't have any
cold.
problems last year with our hostel.
No, we
I
didn't.
thought it was
Yeah,
fine.
except for the
Other
one
than
really
a-
creepy light. That was.
Oh yeah,
in
that
the-
would just
It
flicker
was
in that
flickering
one
in the bathroom. Yeah.
I thought you were
It
gonna
was
say
like a
the-
horror movie. It
The
was-
one creepy guy in our room.
But it was like the same. I mean, like, was your hall like the same deal? I mean, right? 'Cause
No,
it-
we were on the 8th floor.
So
So it was
there
like a
wasn't,
maze. It was like, you know the maze at the end of The Shining? It was like that, but it led to rooms.
you just take a corner and you found Jack Nicholson just frozen in the
Yeah,
corner.
because the water was so cold. He's like, I tried taking a shower.
I tried killing my son and then it wasn't working, so I froze in the shower. But yeah, because like worked. Because like, was it the same as in like they just had like the showers just
No, we didn't
In
have
the
communal
corners?
showers on like the 8th floor. We had our own showers in
just
our
in
room.
your room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause that was a good
on ours,
deal
we
for
had
ours.
communal showers. We had communal showers and then a shower in our room.
And they had it where I think we were the only ones who had a
And the
shower
one-
in our rooms,
And the
but
one next to us with
everyone-
the people
every-
whose doors was open.
yeah, a bunch of
Oh,
other
my.
people, they had their room, and then like the bathroom and shower was outside of it,
Oh,
right
yeah.
next to it, so you could just
Were you on the
walk into
fourth
their
floor?
shower.
So that's
Yeah,
how
we were on
our
the
floor.
that's how our
Yeah.
floor
Sounded
was.
Yeah.
You might have been in our room that we had this year because we
No.
had the shower.
We weren't, cause like you know how yours was like, oh, I guess we were in your room. I was thinking of the other guy's room, cause
What
like
was
their
that?
room was like, you know the way the staircase is?
Mm.
It was like in the staircase.
Oh yeah.
Like their door was in the
Yeah,
in the stairwell.
like it was legitimately like here's the staircase, and there's like a room in the staircase.
Wasn't it? Because we thought it was weird because like the profs or Donahue or someone was staying on the top floor or whatever, but there was no elevator button for the floor that she said that she was on.
Yeah, I said they
So
were
we
like
were
on the
like,
8th
wait a
floor or
minute,
something
wait a
like
minute.
that. Mm.
That just doesn't exist. So they must
They had
have
their
said to
own-
walk up the stairs then.
They had their own little.
Yeah, they went somewhere else.
Hostel
They
again this
lied to
year.
me.
They Airbnb'd. Apparently.
Lies.
Lies. They had a five-star place. They didn't see any movies. They just had free room service, and they just had spa days the whole time.
Oh, that's fair.
Who all went, or what professors?
Everyone except Ice.
Oh.
Gould came for like the first half and left. Donahue left after the first half, and then Credell and Edwards stayed the whole time. And Edwards
I
actually
was
saw
supposed to say
movies.
Edwards. Yeah.
He saw more than one movie.
Mm.
He didn't just walk out halfway through the second one he saw.
He did walk out of one.
It was 3 billboards, or not 3 billboards. The
Porcupine Lake.
The Lake of Porcupines.
The one that they
No,
were doing the
they
master
stuck
class
around.
for. The next.
I could see them
Yeah.
walking out.
No, they stuck around, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Seems
they wanted
like
to
it would
walk
be an
out.
awkward movie experience with your prof.
Yeah.
No
There
less
were
awkward than
several
some of the
of
movies
those.
that we saw.
Yeah,
at
good thing we
TIFF,
didn't
but-
sing with our professors.
Well, you
No
know,
one knows we saw it besides Adam.
Well,
No
you-
one will ever know.
Don't rat us out, Adam.
you know, it's kind of like not a great movie when even Gould is like, yeah, you know, it was a movie. I'm like, oh, okay.
He's like the nicest guy.
The nicest
The
guy
one who
who
watches all
runs
the
our
student films.
production
Yeah.
films. It's just like, yeah. Rachel's mad now. She's like, I like that movie.
Well,
Lake of Porcupines.
Just imagine just a sea of them
No.
just swimming.
there wasn't a single porcupine in the movie.
What
But there
was it a
a
metaphor
porcupine
for?
lake.
The sharp
think.
underneathness of the lake. It's basically a movie about don't go to lakes.
So Jaws?
They
But,
killed a dog in
lakes.
the movie.
oh, that's a
Oh,
that's
no.
a low blow. You killed a dog.
Yeah. They didn't really show it. They showed it hanging in a tree, and it was terrible.
Yeah, it
That
takes
might
a
be
turn.
worse.
The dog
Worse.
hung itself?
No, these dumb boys hung it.
The dog was just so sad. Life is rough.
Even the dog's like, this movie's not going anywhere.
Cut. That's it. We're done. Thank you for joining us today. Nick ruined the show again, as always.
His shoe's not on the table this time.
No.
I bet he's wearing the same stupid Fred Flintstone shoes, aren't you?
I am, but they're kind of retired now. They're
Aw.
They're
the
retired.
soles are very thin.
Oh yeah.
Well,
What's happening?
well,
No, I won't do it.
we're
I would
getting,
do it,
we're
but my
getting
feet
close
smell
to
horrible, I
our
bet.
time. So, I guess, Nick, you've been there twice now. Rachel, you've been there. This is your first time. Did you feel like you missed anything this time around for both? Because you know what you're doing now, but did you still feel like there's something you didn't get to do? And for you, is there just something else that you wanted to do that you didn't get to?
I want to go to that burrito place and that ramen place. That's the only thing I think I really missed.
She's not
But
there.
overall, like I was satisfied with like the amount of movies. I saw 13 movies, so I was like satisfied. But we kind of determined that like seeing 2 movies in a day, you feel like you didn't really do enough, and then 4 movies in a day is just exhausting and too much. So 3 is like the perfect amount to see like each day. But yeah, I didn't hate anything that I saw, so I was overall pleased, ready to go
Satisfied,
back.
yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I got my money's worth.
It was rough.
I guess I just felt like sometimes I didn't feel like getting up super early and walking to go get tickets. So then when people were like, "Oh, we're gonna go see this movie, we have tickets," so I was kind of like, "Oh, I'll just go see John Woo's new movie." And now I
Did
don't.
he have a new movie?
He did. It was not John Woo-y.
What was it?
It was like
It's John.
a John Woo movie if John Woo didn't direct enough. It was like a a diet John Woo movie because there wasn't enough action in it, which was sad. But
There
like,
weren't enough like doves flying around.
oh
and
no,
being-
there was an excess of doves, but not in action scenes. Just like there would be like shots of doves, and then they would crossfade to other shots of doves.
Oh,
flying.
good. It's just stock footage of doves.
But like, yeah, because like everyone saw like this movie called like The Unicorn Store.
It was so good. It was so cute.
See, and everyone keeps bringing up unicorns, and I have no idea what they're talking
Oh,
about.
so that's a monster.
It really is. Like every time I look in like a group chat, they're just talking about unicorns, and I'm just like, yeah, I saw John Woo's movie.
Who was in John Woo's movie?
I have no idea.
Who was the unicorn?
It was a real unicorn.
What?
They found a unicorn and put it in the
Yeah.
movie, Rachel?
It
Wow.
was beautiful.
It wasn't a rough day.
If you got someone to play a unicorn, who would you do? Who would you place as the unicorn I have to
Like
play?
an animated unicorn?
Yeah, like voice a unicorn. Or be an actual one, like, the two halves of like two people would like come
Steve
together.
Um,
I was thinking, yeah, or like Christopher
Allison
Walken. Allison Brie.
Brie. Yeah.
Oh no, Elizabeth Banks is Unikitty in the Lego movie.
I think that's Allison Brie.
I think that's Allison Brie.
I think it is.
That's exactly
Because
why
as soon
I
as
said
she
it.
said that, I thought,
Yeah.
it sounds
Yeah.
like a Lego movie.
A real unicorn with Dwayne The Rock Johnson as the body and Danny DeVito as the head.
Okay, that's enough. We're done
I'm
now.
a unicorn.
We just keep eating rainbows.
I want Lizzie to play a unicorn. She's like peeking up over the TriCast.
What is Allison Brie?
Who, me?
It is Allison Brie. Yeah. And just like her voice in Mad Men, like she could be a unicorn.
She in Mad Men?
Mm-hmm.
She is the
Peter
Mad Men.
Kimball's
She's the Mad
wife.
Man. Huh.
She's not like a main character.
I thought her only thing was Community.
Nope.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Does anyone have any last minute,
No, we can be
thoughts
done
on TIFF?
Nick ruined it like usual.
Nope. It was good.
Well said. All right. Well, that does it for this week's episode of On a Roll. Make sure to come back in 2 weeks for the next one. And we'll see you then.
Bye.
Goodbye.
That camera's lower than that